All right, guys, we're back with part 2 of the Ciampa Miz storyline that we started on the last episode of Madman Books It. This one's going to be a little more in-depth, so hang on to your seats as we catch you up to speed if you missed episode 1. Basically, what would happen is we would see The Miz turn on Ciampa, costing him the United States Championship, leading to The Miz versus Ciampa, a new darker version of Ciampa at Clash of the Castle, where The Miz would do his Mizzy thing and get the distraction and the win. So now we find ourselves on the September 5th episode of Raw, where Ciampa comes out and explains that he didn't get the job done. He's a man, and he'll admit that. But because of the interference of his wife, something that The Miz is very used to using, hiding behind others, using cheap tactics, he always wins his battles that way, and Ciampa is pissed. And he wants a rematch for Extreme Rules. Well, The Miz, in all of his douchey glory, comes out and says that Ciampa didn't earn another match with him, but he's a giving man. So The Miz is willing to allow Ciampa to have a rematch if Ciampa can beat Miz's hand-picked opponent. Ciampa accepts, and we get Ciampa versus Otis of Alpha Academy on the September 5th Raw, where Ciampa wins in a hard-fought match because of the drastic size difference between Ciampa and Otis, and the announcers hype this match up as if it's already been signed, sealed, and delivered. We'll move on to the September 12th Raw. Ciampa now is out talking about how he beat Otis. He has earned his match against The Miz, and The Miz interrupts, explaining to him that there are still other things that he has to do in order to make sure that he achieves his fairy tale ending, as Miz calls it. And Miz says that Ciampa now has to beat Chad Gable, the other half of Alpha Academy, tonight, who then attacks Ciampa from behind with Otis, and they leave Ciampa lying in the middle of the ring. The announcers hyping the match later that night, wondering if Ciampa can make it. Case in point, as the game is even showing here, distractions are The Miz's forte. Later that night, we show Ciampa again. Trainers in the trainer's room. Trainers are saying Ciampa can't go, but he refuses to allow that to be a thing, and he storms off with his arm wrapped up for his match against Chad Gable. This match, I would think, would be a little more physical, just because of the nature of Chad Gable and his wrestling ability and the story of the injury going into the match. Ciampa gets his win, and The Miz is at ringside now livid. After the match, the three men jump Ciampa once again, leaving him laying. Now, this is the second time we've seen Ciampa get left laying on this episode of Raw, which leads us to the September 19th episode of Raw, where Ciampa is now just livid, just slowly hyping that meter up to here. And he comes out looking for a fight, says he doesn't give a damn who it is. He wants somebody to kick the crap out of. And he's jumped through the hoops, and he's done everything he needs to do to get this damn match, and now he wants it tonight. Well, The Miz decides he's going to tell him that there's one more obstacle that you have to overcome in order to get this match. He's cleared it with Adam Pearce, the WWE official, and that if Ciampa can find himself a tag partner and win a match against Alpha Academy, he gets his match at Extreme Rules. Ciampa searches high and low, can't find himself a partner after numerous cuts to the back where nobody really wants to tag with Ciampa. He doesn't have the best rep and record, if you will, with the boys in the back. Ciampa comes out and makes it look like it's going to be a 1-on-2 handicap match, and we get hit with the music of Johnny Gargano. Ciampa's former DIY tag partner is back and reuniting with Ciampa for a one-night-only event against Alpha Academy. DIY pulls out the win, and now Ciampa has somebody to watch his back, and the match is officially confirmed for Extreme Rules. We are on the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. Hopefully you guys have stuck with me this far. If you guys haven't done so yet, real quick, the match that you guys were just watching ended with Tommaso beating The Miz, which is kind of comical. cut that off because it cut in the middle of it. So if you guys are enjoying what we're doing so far, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Ring that notification bell because we are going to do a lot more of these wrestling-themed Book It episodes. I got a lot of stuff in store. And if you have an idea for a future episode, drop it in the comments below because I love the idea of taking somebody's weird, crazy idea and seeing what I can do with it. It's just a good time. So yes, we are on the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw, September 26th, 2022. Adam Pearce comes out and explains that there will be not one, but two Beat the Clock Challenge matches tonight on Monday Night Raw. The first being Johnny Gargano versus The Miz. The second being Tommaso Ciampa versus Chad Gable. The match you are currently watching on your screen, in fact. Whoever wins their match and in the fastest time will be able to pick the stipulation for their match at Extreme Rules. The Miz edges out the win over Johnny Gargano by mere seconds. And I know some people are going to give me some hate over that because it's Johnny Gargano and The Miz shouldn't be winning. But stick with me as we have a good ending here. So check it out. This allows him to pick the stipulation for the match. Now, we hit 10/3, October 3rd Raw. This is the go-home episode. I had my dates wrong. I apologize. This is the go-home episode of Raw where an episode of Miz TV is announced and The Miz will reveal his stipulation for the upcoming match at Extreme Rules against Tommaso Ciampa, and they will sign the contract. During this segment, Miz always talks about being called a coward and that how he can't fight his own battles and how people have continually pushed and said that he couldn't do it on his own. So he has something to prove, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, if you will. He wants to prove the doubters wrong and destroy Ciampa once and for all. And he decides that their match for Extreme Rules is going to take place inside of a steel cage. So we get to October 8th, Extreme Rules 2022, guys. Here it is. Ciampa and Miz in a steel cage match. I picture this match as an insane brawl. There is going to be interference from Alpha Academy, who is going to get chased away from ringside by Johnny Gargano, leading Miz and Ciampa to just go toe-to-toe. And eventually, I feel there needs to be just a touch of blood in this match, leaving Miz a little bit bloody, letting Ciampa finally hit the fairy tale ending on a bloody and beaten Miz for the 1-2-3. This wraps this storyline. This moves Ciampa on to a new endeavor. The Miz has been elevated. Really not that he needs it, but he fits in well. There's a little bit of evolution to his character of being able to kind of show that he wants to do it on his own. This elevates Ciampa to a new level by getting a win, a good, clean win over a very game former WWE champion. And overall, I think it brings it full circle. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Do you like the way that I set this up? Do you hate it? What things would you change about the way that this is set up? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so, hit the like and subscribe button. Please, would be graciously appreciated. And then last but not least, if you have a suggestion for a storyline you'd like to see me put together, doesn't matter who it's with, who it's against, whatever, I'd love to make it. Drop 2 names in the comments. Drop a what-if scenario. Drop a controversial match or decision WWE's made over the years, or TNA, or AEW, and you might see some of those suggestions pop up on a future episode of Madman Books It. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Madman, Kyle Robinson, closing the book on this chapter in Wrestling Fairy Tale Fandom.